Realtree's Midwest Whitetail is brought to you by Cabela's, Cuddyback, America's Best Bowstrings, Drake Non-Typical, Easton Arrows, Frigid Forage, Fuse, Grizzly Coolers, Hoyt, Hoyman Tree Saws, Lone Wolf Tree Stands, Nikon, Ozonics, Redneck Blinds, RTP Outdoors, Spot Hog Releases, Wasp Archery, Viking Solutions, and Realtree.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland show. It's November 14th. Tonight I'm set up in the pond set. I'm expecting to see some decent action tonight. I literally just got the camera mounted, my bow hung up, and I looked down here right by the dike and there's a decent buck coming up the hill. First I just thought it was a younger buck, but after I got through my shooting lane and I got some footage of it back behind the tree further, it's got a pretty big body. It looks like a fairly mature buck. Got cold weather, high pressure, so I'll settle in here and see what happens. Well, it's just after 4 o'clock. I had my second buck of the night cruise through here. It's definitely the movement I'm looking for. Is the bucks either working across the CRP or up this draw, and then coming right along the edge of the pond here. I just need a bigger one to do the same thing. Still got about an hour left, so we'll see what happens. How quick a season can do a complete 180. Last few days have been real tough. Just haven't been seeing any decent buck that I've been interested in putting my Iowa tag around. Had some decent encounters last night and this morning. Had a decent buck come right into the decoy this morning, and decided tonight to switch things up, come back to this pond set. We've had so many good hunts here over the past. I've killed my biggest buck to date just on the other side of it here. And we've had other numerous encounters with really nice bucks. You know, it just sets up perfect for catching bucks cruising, because this draw starts to narrow down up here by this pond. Especially this time of the year, once bucks are starting to break away from does trying to find new ones. It just sets up absolutely perfect to catch bucks cruising. And we had 3 of them tonight, all come right into this little corner of this timber right here by the pond. And they just worked just perfect tonight. This has definitely come to be one of my favorite tree stand locations. Gotta love it. Sweet November. Doesn't get any better than that. Well, it's been about an hour or so since I shot that buck. Wanted to wait for my dad and brother-in-law to get out here so we could get a proper recovery film for them. So as far as blood trailing and that, there's no reason for that. I saw him go down from the stand, so we're going to go over and take a look at it. Here he is. Found him. It's been a tough season so far. Finally glad to get a tag filled. We're gonna go ahead and get a tag on him and get him drug out, and we'll get some, give you a little bit better look at him.
Congrats, man.
Well, November 14th didn't disappoint. We finally got a buck on the ground. It's been a real tough grind for us. We were able to fill a couple antlerless tags back in October, but since then, buck encounters have been pretty far and few in between. Tonight I decided to come to the pond set. It's a spot where we've had a lot of success in the past. The spot sets up perfect for catching these bucks cruising because there's a bedding area to the south and then a draw that they like to bed in up at the north end of this big draw. And with the way the pond sets up, it pinches the deer movement right past the stand. So this is my first buck in 3 years. So I was definitely ready to send an FMJ towards one. It was definitely great just to feel that excitement of having a plan all come together. Definitely not one of our top target deer, but this is what November's all about, spending time out in the outdoors with friends and family. And I couldn't be happier to wrap my tag around this Iowa buck tonight. Thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show.
It's November 15th, about 1:30 in the afternoon. We're just getting settled in for our afternoon hunt. We're back in the pond set, one of our favorite stands on the whole farm, especially during the rut. Matt sat this stand last night. He saw 4 different bucks and was able to put down the biggest one of the 4, so congrats to you, Matt. We were kind of worried about whether to come back in here tonight. We didn't know whether all the commotion and stuff would have messed up the area too bad, but we were coming in. We got an access road behind us to the northeast that we used to get into this stand. Most of the time you're golden, don't have no trouble at all, but every once in a while there'll be a deer bedded in this area. And unfortunately, today that was the case. We got just almost to the, even with the stand on the road, and a big buck jumped up. It looked like he'd probably be at least a 4-year-old. We didn't get a real good look at him, but he was a definite shooter. We're hoping we got some pictures on the trail camera when we go pull it, but it wouldn't have really mattered which direction we came in and or what we did, because he was bedded within probably 60 yards of our stand, so there was no way we were going to get in here. But hopefully he won't be the only one that we get to see tonight, so we're going to settle in here and hopefully some more will come by, and if it's not him, hopefully it's another shooter. So gave me a shot. I think it was a decent shot. I don't know if the arrow fell out over here. We'll get down here in a little bit and check the arrow, see what it's showing. But hopefully he'll be down over there. I don't know. We'll have to review the footage here in a second, see what we think. Well, got pretty good penetration. Might have had him just a hair far back, but they didn't get a complete pass through. But the arrow fell out about 30 yards from where I shot him. We watched him run off over the hill. We're going to take and ease over the hill to see if we can find a good blood trail or not. And if we can't find him, then we'll probably back out and wait till tomorrow to try to recover him. Well, we looked around a little bit for a blood trail. Can't really find no blood. We think it's because of the steep angle of the arrow going in and the fact that it didn't do a complete pass through. So there's no sense going and bumping around here in the dark. So we're just going to back out. It's going to be real cold tonight, so the meat will still be good. So hopefully we'll be able to find him in the morning. We're back out here this morning going to look for that buck that I shot last night. We watched the video at home on the bigger screen and we're pretty confident that he's going to be dead. And we also watched where he went into the timber at. So instead of start searching back where we found the arrow, we're going to start looking right where we watched him go into the timber. So we're just going to ease on in here, and he's had a good 14 hours now, so we're going to see if we can find him. Oh, what a good feeling. We finally found him. We got out here this morning, and even in the daylight we couldn't find any blood trail. What we're figuring it is because of the shot angle hitting him a little higher from being in the tree stand, and the arrow not being a full pass through is why we couldn't get no blood trail. So we definitely made the right call by backing out last night. He's probably 300 yards from where I shot him. He went down through the valley and up the other side. So we basically came out this morning, and once we couldn't find a blood trail, we just started grid searching this whole valley, both sides of it. And by the grace of God, we were finally able to stumble across them. So we're gonna get them drug up to the field edge and get some pictures and talk a little bit more about the setup that we use and how much we love that stand. I know we've talked about it a few times, but that's definitely our favorite stand on this whole farm. So. Well, we got them drug out and field dressed, and we definitely made the right call by waiting overnight. We checked and definitely was just a liver hit. So talk a little bit about the stand location. The reason we love that stand location so much is you got a big bedding area, and that's where he ran into. But as it gets up here to the pond really makes it funnel down to where it's only about, I don't know, probably 80 yards wide. So that stand just works out so great. All three of the deer we took off this farm this year were all shot out of that same stand, so definitely our favorite stand on the farm, and feel really blessed to be able to go out and share all this with my son and enjoy God's great nature and bring it all to you guys. So we're gonna get them loaded up and get them on out of here. Thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show.
Well, it's the morning of the 18th, and Brad and I are all set up in my south timber this morning. I gotta talk pretty quiet because we have 4 does bedded at 80 yards right here. So Brad and I came in here this morning and did a hanging hunt. We're hunting this spot today, targeting the deer saddler in shredder this morning. So Sadler was seen coming into this timber the last night, so I'm hoping he's still in this draw with this doe somewhere. So hopefully we can get out of here with one of those mature deer. If not, we're definitely gonna shoot some does today and have some fun. So hopefully the action picks up and I get one of these bucks coming by. Alright, well it is about 9:45 now, and we're going to climb down. Brad just shot a doe, one of the does that we've been sitting here watching all morning, bedded down. A bunch of deer came running through. I don't know if one of my neighbors got up and bumped a bunch of deer, but they came running through, and it got these does to stand up, and she stood up and walked out to about 90 yards, and Brad just put a really good shot on her, and she piled up to about 20 yards. So I mean, that's the first deer we've killed this year. So you know, we've passed a lot of good young bucks, and you know, about the time that we were starting to get really good opportunities on a lot of does, it was just that time of the year where I didn't want to shoot does. That last week of October, first week of November, and it's not that I don't want to shoot them, because it's one less doe for the rut. There's plenty of does out here. It was more, for me, it's just I don't want to shoot a doe and then have to track and recover one in one of my best spots. So it's just not worth putting that pressure on during those good days of the rut. So we're going to climb down. We don't have much of a track job, but we'll film a little bit of the track job on this doe. And then we're going to go get some trucks, and we'll come in and tear down these lone wolves. And really good sit. Didn't see any of the target deer, but really good sit.
Good deer, good hunt, good friends. You're gonna make a lot of us happy.